What's up guys, it's JBoy today, and I'm still sick, but I'm bringing you this new video. Now today I'm talking about the parts that I'm ordering for my new build, which is going to be my streaming and my gaming. It's going to be my main PC. I'm just going to talk you through some of the parts that I've decided to go for, and they're all in my Amazon basket. Now you might get a glimpse of some of the nasty arse viruses I have managed to pick up along my years. So basically I'm coming in with my first thing I'm going for. I'm going for the Intel Core i7 4790K CPU. Now some of you might say this is really overkill, but I really want the most powerful CPU that I can get to run this streaming PC, because I need to compress the video as much as possible to send it out at the lowest bitrate possible so you guys see it in the best way. Now I think £250 is a hell of a lot of money to be spending on a single part for a computer, but you'll only really buy it once. Now people have argued with me, why didn't I go for the next generation and go for the 2011 chipset and go for the 5000 series? And mainly it's because of cost. For what I'd pay for a 5000 series CPU, which would then become the worst in the range in the next couple of years, I could go get one of these brand new i7s and my motherboard for the same money as I was going to pay just for the CPU on its own, and with a very, well, not very tight budget, but with a tight enough budget to the point where I didn't want to be splashing out the 2011 chipsets and boards and then having to pay DDR4 prices, which I honestly really can't afford. So I went for the i7 processor. I didn't think it was a bad choice, and that's the processor I've decided to stick with. I might overclock it, but I don't really need to, so I'll only really be doing it just for the fun of it. Now I've got these Sealy cable ties in, and this is just for a bit of cable management afterwards. I want to make sure there are things running. But on the talk of cable management, I've got all these Benefex white and black sleeved cables. That's so my case looks nice and clean from the windowed panel side. So when you look into the actual case, all you see is just like really nice and neatly well placed cables. So my cable management looks amazing, and just the inside of my case just looks clean and fresh. Hence the reason why I went for the NZXT 2340 case white, because it's got, down on the bottom here, it's got a really nice little tray that covers up your power supply, and also it's really helpful for doing cable management. And then in the case on the panel there's got a little bar that goes up, and in that bar you run all of your cables that are going to run to your motherboard. It's really good case for doing easy cable management, which I'm going to really need. I also went for the HyperX Fury series DDR3 1866 MHz 16 gigabytes of RAM, mainly because it was one of the most affordable RAMs you can go for. It was very difficult to find 2 sticks of 8 gig at 1800 rather than 4 sticks of 4 gig, and I didn't want to run 4 sticks if I could help it. Although 4 sticks does slightly improve performance, it also makes your case look a little bit more messy. So I've decided to go for 2 sticks over the 4 sticks. Also it saves a lot of money. It saves about £20 I think it is, and I don't need 4 sticks in my case. This way I can add another 2 sticks on at a later date if I ever change my motherboard up. So I think we'll be flicking over to the next page right now, and on to page 2 we've got the Corsair 1H15 105 244mm rad with 2 120 fans. Why did I go for the 105 over the 110, no, for the 100 series or the 100i? I went for the 105 because it was roughly £10 to £15 cheaper than the H100, and honestly it's got much better reviews. The performance of the H150 over the H10 is far superior because it's got more distance fins inside the radiator, so it means it gets cooled much quicker than it does if you were to use the H100. And the H100i, although it comes with really good BIOS compatibility and different features you can use for fan control, it's really not worth spending the extra £10 to £15 when I could be spending that on more valuable things like the Arctic cooling thermal compound to go between my water cooling block and my CPU to increase its cooling capacity, and things like that just help the build stay better for longer, if you know what I mean. I want this to be a long-term system, as I can't afford to upgrade this anytime soon. So this really needs to be a sort of future-proof build, as much as I don't like using the word future-proof, because this isn't future-proof by any point. In a couple of years' time, this is going to be another old system. But I went for the Asus Z97A ATX motherboard. This motherboard has some fancy gold bits on it, which I don't really like, but I think the gold with the black and white, I might be able to pull it off. If not, I'm really not bothered by it. I'm trying my best to make the inside of the case look nice. If it doesn't, I'm really not bothered. It's performance I'm in for, hence the reason why I went for a 512 gigabytes of SSD, because that's going to be really good for me to put my operating system onto. And I'm also then going to put things like all of my recordings from my OBS onto the solid state drive, because that means my stream is much easier for my stream to send the recordings. It's less pressure on my computer and on OBS if it sends it to a faster drive than it does if it sends it to a hard drive, which is slower and more demanding on the system. So therefore it increased the stream quality as well. The reason I went for the Asus Z97A ATX motherboard was basically because it had the best reviews on the PC formatting forum I looked at. People were saying for a really affordable Z97 board, go for the Z97A by Asus. It's a really good board. It's got some really clever features on it. It's got some well placed fan pins for cable management. I'm just looking at it. It's got a really good warranty on it and things like that, and it's got everything I need. It's got 2 PCI slots, PCI Express 2 slots that I need. It's also got the it can do up to 2-way SLI. That board can host, where some of the other Z97 boards didn't even have SLI mode, SLI compatibility at all. So if I ever wanted to say, let's go, at the moment I've got a R9 270, or is it yeah, I've got a 270 in at the moment. If I ever wanted to grab another one of them and just run one monitor on each, that board would support it, which I thought was a really good feature, because to be fair, my 270 really wasn't much, and it's running these dual monitors fine at the moment. It's just that obviously the stream's struggling and recordings are struggling and things like that. But other than that, guys, I really can't think of anything else on here that I haven't talked about yet. I think that's the lot. So add-on item, what is this? So expect to see a build video or a lot of unboxing videos coming along soon, guys. But anyway, something else I want to talk about. What do you guys think about this new look, the Aware Gaming thingy majiggy overlay thing, rather than my JBoy one? What do you guys think? If you guys prefer it, leave a thumbs up. If you don't prefer it, leave a dislike so I can tell, or leave a comment if you've got more complex feelings than that. But other than that, guys, this is my PC shopping list. This is what will be purchased. It might take a month or so, or a couple of months before it all gets together and we can do the final build video, but as it sort of trickles in, I'm going to be sort of put it together just so you get the streaming working, and then once everything's here and I'm in absolutely everything, then I'll do a complete strip down and a complete rebuild video with all my nice little clippy cable things, because to be fair, them little white cables, because they're not crucial, they're probably going to be the last thing I buy, because I need to get the case, motherboard, CPU first, and then I can get me RAM, then my water cooler, RAM, then water cooler, and obviously you got to get the Arctic cooling paste at the same time. So it'll be RAM, water cooler, SSDs, or SSD, I'm only getting one, and then all my little fancy cables to make it all look nice and neat and pretty. So it might be more of a staged video where I put the parts in as I get them. But yeah, so I'll be ordering the case in the morning when my paycheck goes through, and that'll be the start of the video series. Yay! So anyway, guys, this is JBoy signing out. Peace. Wow.